daughter is a Star Wars fan, the first thing they're going to ask for are the figures.
The reason they're 3.75 inches tall is because the first mock-up figures that I made were Fisher-Price Adventure People. Fisher-Price Adventure People.
Welcome back to GFT. Here is a new episode with your host Chris B. Thanks for tuning in. This will be fun. Let's discuss figures and the latest toy run from a galaxy far, far away. Let's dive into the news and what's next in your display. From the Black Series to TVC, from Hasbro to the Kenner Legacy. 3.75 inches, 6 inches tall. Galactic figure talk covers it all. Displaying, rearranging the collection. Discussing figures, asking Hasbro for perfection. The thrill of the hunt, filling gaps is the mission. Always on the move, always wanting mint condition.
I have 3 of each. 1 to display, 1 to open, and 1 just in case.
We finally launched 6-inch when I felt the time was right.
Displaying, rearranging the collection.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
Discussing figures, asking Hasbro for perfection. The thrill of the hunt, filling gaps is the mission. Always on the move, always wanting mint condition. Rapid firing fet, the early bird kit. So many topics to cover, which one to pick? Bent corners or creases on the card. Are bubbles too big, obstructing the art? Super articulation or 5POA? Soft good robes or plastic capes? Okay, maybe a live stream or pipeline reveal. Clearance find or an online deal. Whatever the topic may be, it's all driven by the GFT community. Rearranging the collection.
I don't think I ever left the DeLorean guard behind.
Discussing figures, asking Hasbro for perfection.
Listen to the waves. Don't you hear it? The lightsabers.
Thrill of the hunt, filling gaps is the mission. Always on the move, always wanting mint conditions. Play, rearranging the collection.
Alright, so welcome back to another episode of GFT Galactic Figure Talk. My name is Chris B, and on this episode I want to talk about this morning's live stream that took place on the Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel, where they talked about new vintage collection figures and new Black Series figures as well. The retro collection, unfortunately, was missing in action. There was no mentioning of retro whatsoever, unfortunately. But, fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll get some news fairly soon, and maybe something is actually going to come out of Toy Fair this weekend. And talking about Toy Fair, they did mention Toy Fair during the live stream today, and they said that there might be 1 or 2 surprises coming out of the show. So I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing what's going to come out of Toy Fair on Saturday. So before diving into this morning's announcements, I do want to say that all the figures that they showed today looked really good. No exceptions. They all looked really, really nice. The Black Series figures looked amazing. The Vintage Collection figures looked amazing. So in that regards, in terms of the product quality, it is really high. And so I'm going to leave it at that. But, the overarching theme of this was basically repack and re-release. And that's kind of how it felt. Like, if you're looking for entirely new characters, slim pickings.
And, we've refreshed that figure. It really matches his outfit deco from the previous completely. But we've also lightened up the skin tone a bit and added just a little deco to bring out the mustache.
This is the first time that we have Krennic with that inkjet likeness. So, slightly updated hair color there too.
This is the same as those previous releases. This was one of our earliest figures that we actually had the inkjet on, and this one looked really good. Looks just as good now as it did then. This is the same as the previous release. This version, we actually did make some slight updates to it.
All right, let's take a look at it though. Let's start off with 3.75 inch, and they gave us a first look at Hammerhead, Momon Nadon on a deluxe card. Now, this is a figure that was previously pipeline revealed. A lot of people were excited about it and are still excited about it. It is one of the 96ers that we can now check off the list, so to speak. But I think that my question to the people who really wanted to have all the 96 updated on new cards, is that what you wanted? that Hasbro gives you a card that's bigger now, that doesn't fit with anything in the collection, so to speak. You know, that gets into the whole territory of what is a deluxe figure these days, because this is going to cost $25. Actually, it's going to cost closer to $30 once you add tax. And this is a 3 3/4 inch action figure, you guys. That's not a 6-inch Black Series figure. Okay, but you know, he does look great. Comes with a bunch of weapons. They included the staff from the Saga collection, or something that's molded after that, I think is what they mentioned. They also included the Power of the Force 2 weapon, but scaled down apparently, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, and the figure looks great, and it's going to be such a cool addition to the Mos Eisley Cantina. So I'm very happy that they are finally updating this one, and it's a really good looking figure. So yeah, I'm looking forward to adding this to the collection, but like I mentioned just now, I'm not happy about the $25 or almost $30 price tag for this one 3 3/4 inch figure. Now, they also showed a repack or re-release of Ponda Baba on a new card back. The difference here is that the photo that they used gives us more of a look at the character and the vest that Ponda wore in A New Hope. But it seems like it might actually be the same image, just, you know, zoomed out a little. But it does look different from the first release. They also changed the colors on the name pill from green to yellow on this one. And the color behind the bubble is also changed from green to yellow. Interesting. I don't know. I mean, I was okay with how the first one looked, to be honest. But I do appreciate getting a little bit of an alternate card for this one. But I wish they would have just picked a different image altogether of the character. And there's gotta be some of them. So, all right. But it is a great figure, and also remember that when it came out, it was quite difficult to get. Out of the top of my head, I know it came out in the Black Series 3 3/4 inch line as well, and I'm not entirely sure if this is now a straight repack in TVC or if they made any changes, but when I saw that they're repacking this one, the first thing that came to my mind was, did they update the head? Because the head is definitely on the smaller scale for this release. And they didn't. They're just repacking it. Okay? But, I mean, if you don't have this figure yet, and you back the Mos Eisley Cantina, and especially, you know, if you're getting Dr. Evazan, you kind of want to have the counterpart as well. So, you know, this was basically an inevitable repack, so to speak. It is a good-looking figure still, even though I wish they would have updated the head sculpt. All right, so we had Hammerhead, we had Walrus Man, and now we also have an Imperial Armored Commando from the 3rd season of the Mandalorian TV series. This one was already released in the Black Series line, but this is now a character debuted in TVC, and this is a very cool looking figure. Love everything about it. I have absolutely no complaints here. Comes with the shield, comes with all the accessories that you need to actually troop build this one. Problem is, they're selling him at $25, so who's gonna troop build something at $25? You know, nobody is. Okay, this is also going to be on a deluxe card, which the bigger cards now, just like Hammerhead. But he does come with, you know, a blaster rifle with a baton, comes with the shield. So yeah, $25 or almost $30 once you add tax. But yeah, as far as the looks of the figure, great character, great execution figure-wise, no complaints in that regards. Now, they also did show the land speeder. They only had one image of it on the screen real quick, which looked really good. I mean, yeah, you know, we're going to see a lot of debates about whether this actually needed to be resculpted or not. I already saw some comments in the Galactic Figures community saying that this was a waste of tooling budget for the land speeder, which I kind of agree. But at the same time, it's nice to get the most accurate version of this vehicle, right? But that was everything that they showed for TVC and 3 3/4 inch, I think. It was Hammerhead, it was the Imperial Commando, and then Ponda Baba. And maybe we'll get some more news out of Toy Fair, but for the live stream from this morning, this was basically it. I did check the press release, and there was no pricing changes at all, so single carded figures stay at $16.99 and the deluxe figures stay at $24.99. All right, and then let's look at the Black Series line where they showed more figures. They did mention that Walmart is going to have another collector con which is going to take place on March 13th at 10 o'clock in the morning East Coast time. So 7 o'clock for us here on the West Coast. Previous Walmart Collecticons always had the figures up on the website the night before or several hours before they were supposed to be up there. So stay tuned to galacticfigures.com to not miss out on those links. I'll post them as soon as I get them. And that's going to take place on March 13th. So let me just check the calendar real quick. 2 weeks from now on Thursday. All right, let's talk about the figures. So Walmart's going to have 5 exclusive figures. One you can already purchase, which is Commander Cody. That's in throwback Revenge of the Sith packaging. Then they revealed they're doing Count Dooku, R2-D2, and Kit Fisto. Those 3 figures are also going to be in Revenge of the Sith packaging. And then there was one figure which they did not show, and that's going to be just rolled out on the Walmart website for CollectorCon. But, you know, typically this is going to leak in the coming days, right? So, yeah, 5 figures in Revenge of the Sith throwback packaging, which they used for the 3 3/4 inch line back in 2005. Now, I question those kinds of throwback packaging nowadays because I don't even know if people who collect 6-inch these days have any kind of relationship to what Hasbro did for 3 3/4 inch more than 20 years ago, or 20 years ago at this point. But it's still cool to see because the packaging looks pretty sharp, you know, getting an updated packaging with the really crisp and colors that kind of jump at you with the lava theme and red and orange and bright yellows. So it's pretty cool packaging. Although I remember when it came out, I wasn't really a fan of it because you couldn't stack the figures properly in the box. But yeah, seeing them come back is kind of interesting. The only other thing I'm going to say about this is that Count Dooku, straight repack, R2-D2, same as before. I think they did mention that they made some changes to the legs so they can now attach with the rocket boosters, which really they should have done to begin with when they released them the first time, right? But they did make the changes here, and this is more accurate to how we actually got to see R2 in Revenge of the Sith when he flew in the air and took out those super battle droids. So, and then they also are going to re-release Kit Fisto again, straight repack. You guys, nothing new here. This would have been a really good opportunity to release Kit Fisto with the soft goods robes, but that's not the case. Again, just like the first release, there is no robe included here with Kit Fisto. Incomplete figures are a letdown to me personally because people are not going to purchase multiple versions of those figures anymore. And when is the next time they're going to be able to re-release a Kit Fisto figure, really? You know? All right. Again, let's sum it up for Walmart CollectorCon on March 13th. 5 figures. 1 you can already purchase with Commander Cody. That's on their website right now. 1 where we don't know what it is yet, but it'll probably leak a few days before Walmart CollectorCon. And then repacks of Kit Fisto, R2, and Count Dooku. All right, let's take a look at the other figures that they showed from the Black Series line, and that was Moff Gideon in Dark Trooper armor. Totally awesome looking figure. I'm looking forward to this one. This was previously Pipeline revealed, and I think this looks really cool. It's a new character in a way that we have not seen before, so this gets both of my thumbs up, way up actually. Cassian Andor in his TIE Fighter pilot outfit from season 2 of the Andor TV series also looks extremely good. A version of the character that we have not seen yet. I think the head sculpt is also new. It's got the hair to the side, so yes, very cool looking and something that we don't have yet in Black Series or in TVC for that matter. And then they also gave us a look at the Praetorian Guard from season 3 of the Mandalorian TV series, which they did talk about 2 different weapons for this release. So if you purchase 2, you can make them look different. There were 3 Praetorian Guards though in that fight, and I'm wondering, I don't remember now if they all had different weapons or not. Maybe 2 of them had the same weapons. I'm gonna have to go and check, but I don't remember out of the top of my head right now. But again, 2 different weapons included with this figure, so if you purchase 2, you can make them look a little different on the shelf when you have them on display. And then another repack with Director Krennic. This one came out in 2016 originally, but they updated this one with the inkjet print. That's what they call photoreal now. It's the inkjet print. And very good looking, actually. I have to say, I mean, The inkjet on this one really makes a difference. But I also have to say that seeing that there is nothing new here except for that, this feels like something that should straight fit into the archive line. But in the end, it doesn't matter if they release it in archive packaging or in this packaging. I actually think that I prefer Andor packaging or Rogue One packaging for this one. But the one thing I would have really liked to see here is an update for the cape. This would have really deserved a soft goods cape this time around, or cloak, because we already got the plastic one. And seeing that all you have to do here is update the face with the print. Yeah, it would have been nice to see a little more that's new here in this one. But that was it for Black Series line. There were no pipeline reveals again at all. The only thing that they pipeline revealed was basically the land speeder, but we had already seen the image of that previously. But yeah, no pipeline reveals for TVC or 6-inch. And that leaves us with only one pipeline revealed figure now for Black Series, which is SM33 from the Skeleton Crew. That's the only figure now that we know that's in active development for Black Series. For TVC, pipeline reveals that we know are coming are Han Solo from A New Hope, Obi-Wan, and Chewbacca as well. And that's it. Those three figures. So we have SM33 for Black Series, and Chewbacca, Han Solo, and Obi-Wan, all from A New Hope for TVC. Those are all the pipeline reveals that we currently have. Interesting. All right, let's sum up Black Series real quick with all the announcements from this morning. Again, Walmart Collector Con with 5 exclusive figures based on Revenge of the Sith, Count Dooku, Kit Fisto, R2-D2, one we don't know yet, and Commander Cody that you can already purchase on the Walmart website. We're getting Cassian Andor and TIE Fighter pilot outfit from Season 2. We're getting Director Krennic from Season 2 of Andor. We're getting a Praetorian Guard and Moff Gideon and Dark Trooper armor from the 3rd season of the Mandalorian TV show. And that was it from this morning's live stream. Now, when I look at all the figures, I have to say, I mean, you know, Ponda Baba is a straight repack, basically. Director Krennic in Black Series, straight repack, basically. Count Dooku, straight repack in Black Series. Kit Fisto, straight repack in Black Series. R2-D2, straight repack in Black Series. I have to ask, where is the new stuff, you guys? Where is the new stuff? You know, some people might be excited about the land speeder in TVC, but if you've purchased 4 or 5 land speeders over the years in the 3 3/4 inch line, you're not that excited about it, I imagine. So again, where is the new stuff? That's what I am wondering overall. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Pre-orders for the stuff that's not exclusive to Walmart Collector Con is going to go on pre-order on March 5th, which is next Wednesday after Toy Fair. And that's going to be at 1 o'clock East Coast time. And I'll have the links up on galacticfigures.com as always. So if you want to support me and what I do with galacticfigures.com, make sure to stop by the website. Use the links because I do get paid a commission if you make a purchase. And in return, that does help me to keep the podcast going and keep the website servers running as well. All right, so that's it for this episode of GFT. I'll be back probably with another episode once I find out what happened at Toy Fair this weekend. But yeah, that's it for now. So thank you guys for listening. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.